So yesterday, I think Zimbabweans were anticipating it. It was not actually a shock, especially for those who have been following the Zimbabwean politics, like me. Mnangagwa appointing 10 senators, implementing Constitutional Amendment Act number 3 of 2026 as dubious and as unconstitutional as it is. The man is already implementing it. If you look at media, also the mandate that has been taken away from the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission is also taken away, given to the Registrar General. But that is not my focus today. My focus is on these individuals being appointed in effort to try and actually hit retired General Chiwenga or remove him. This is aimed, in my view. These appointments, remember, I think when I was reading across, because sometimes I read through to understand how others put these issues, you can tell without reasonable doubt that Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa is aiming at a massive cabinet reshuffle. There will definitely be a massive cabinet reshuffle. And the most targeted person in that reshuffle would be none other than retired General Chiwenga. Greetings and welcome to your love channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa has never stopped scheming. The man is on top of something, and every move that he makes is well calculated. And as retired Lieutenant General Winston Sikauke Mapranga always put it, that Constitutional Amendment Act number 3 of 2026 was designed to shut out retired General Chiwenga from the succession race. And you can see from the look of things that that is where the direction is pointing at. And at this moment, I can attest to you that either retired General Chiwenga act or not, he would be put on the corner. It will be very soon. It's either he will have to react or he will actually watch Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa coming after him slowly but very, very sure. You see, all these individuals were promoted to be senators. Look at Gudagwa Shetakure. He is touted as the successor of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa in the corridors of ZANU-PF. But I have said my piece that I don't foresee Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa eventually appointing him to succeed him. It's a lie that was sold to retired General Chiwenga. I keep on saying at one point, remember, they were allies, they were working together. But at the moment, he may put him in the vice presidency, not because he wants him to succeed. I mean, being in the vice presidency does not translate to succeeding the president. We've seen so many people being vice president in Zimbabwe, especially under Robert Gabriel Mugabe, but they never succeeded. In fact, that position became a death trap, especially for many politicians from Tepeleland, especially the one that was left vacant by Joshua Mkabu. Anyone who sat in that position died. Just like, anyone who is deployed to Mozambique to be an ambassador in that particular country. I would also quote Wopwell Chinono on this issue. He says Zimbabwe's president Emerson Mnangagwa has appointed 10 new senators to parliament using powers created by the controversial Constitutional Amendment Act number 3. The same law extended his term of office to 2030, lengthened presidential terms from 5 to 7 years, and removed the direct election of the president by the people, transferring that power to parliament. It also cancelled the 2028 elections. To understand why these 10 people were appointed, one must first understand Zimbabwe's political system. Cabinet ministers are ordinarily drawn from parliament, although the constitution allows the president to appoint a limited number from outside parliament. Appointment to the Senate therefore provides a convenient pathway into cabinet. What happened yesterday was not merely the addition of 10 legislators. In my view, Mnangagwa was positioning people for an imminent cabinet reshuffle. Look first at Gudawashe Takwirei. Within ZANU-PF cycles, he is rumored to be the Mnangagwa's preferred successor. His appointment to the Senate is unlikely to be an end in itself. Simply becoming a senator will offer him little political value unless it were a pathway to something bigger. My view is that Takwirei is headed for cabinet. Once there, he will acquire formal government authority, political experience, and a national platform, all essential components of a possible succession project. Then there is Mary Mliso. She previously served as Minister of State for Mashonaland West Provincial Affairs. Her return through the Senate strongly suggests that the current provincial minister, Mariam Chombo, may be on her way out. People within Mnangagwa's camp have questioned Chombo's loyalty, with some claiming that she did not fully support Constitutional Amendment Act number 3 when it was still a bill. My reading is that Mary Mliso is being prepared to replace him. In Harare, the current Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution is Charles Zudzai Chiwenga. I believe he is likely to be replaced by Goodwill's Masimirembo, a lawyer and ZANU-PF provincial chairperson for Harare. Masimirembo's appointment to the Senate gives Mnangagwa a straightforward route to replacing him in charge of the capital. In Bulawayo, Jabulani Spanda's appointment is equally significant. He led ZANU-PF's terrifying campaign of political violence during the 2008 presidential runoff, which prevented Morgan Tsvangirai from taking over after defeating Robert Mugabe in the first round and killed hundreds of opposition supporters. That violence ultimately preserved Mugabe's rule, and with it Mnangagwa's eventual path to the presidency. Had Mugabe lost power in 2008, Mnangagwa's presidential ambitions would almost certainly have died with that defeat. Jabulani Sibanda is therefore viewed as a loyal and battle-tested political operative. I believe he is likely to replace Judith Mkwanda as the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution. I also expect changes involving Manicaland. The current provincial minister, Mishek Mugaza, may be vulnerable. Beyond the provincial appointments, I believe Transport and Infrastructural Development Minister Felix Mona will be relieved of his duties. I also expect Dr. Jennifer Muswere, the Minister of Skills Audit and Development, to lose his cabinet position. Another appointment that deserves close examination is that of Makhosini Tlongwane. He was once firmly in Mnangagwa's camp, but wavered during Mugabe's final days and drifted towards the G40 faction. He was punished for that political miscalculation, but his appointment to the Senate signals that he is now being rehabilitated and brought back into Mnangagwa's fold. My view is that Vice President General Constantino Chiwenga's right-hand man, Lieutenant General retired Anselm Senyato, will be removed as Minister of Sports, Recreation, Arts and Culture. Makosini Hlongwane is likely to replace him, returning to the same portfolio he held before falling out of favor. These appointments were not random. They were strategic moves by Mnangagwa to reorganize his government, reward loyalty, prepare his preferred people for cabinet, and weaken those whom allegiance is considered uncertain. Nothing Mnangagwa does politically is random. There is always a method behind what may initially look like madness. A cabinet reshuffle is on the way. The 10 Senate appointments were the opening move. The rest, as they say, we wait and see. Zimbabwean politics is remarkably predictable if you pay attention and analyze it through ideas, patterns, and evidence, rather than behaving like a cult follower who substitutes emotion and blind loyalty for cold, strategic, and analytical thinking. Political prediction is not magic. It is simply the ability to observe players, understand their interests, and connect their actions to the outcomes they are pursuing. It is also not accident that Mnangagwa selected several ZANU-PF provincial chairpersons for the Senate. The campaign for Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3, now Constitutional Amendment Act number 3, was driven largely by these provincial chairpersons, particularly Goodwill Masimiremba. Their elevation is therefore both a reward for delivering the 2030 project and an attempt to replace its most loyal champions in positions of greater influence. This must be understood within the broader political emasculation of Vice President General Constantino Chiwenga, once regarded as Mnangagwa's most likely successor. With some of Chiwenga's right-handed people, including General Engelbert Rugeje, reportedly being earmarked for ambassadorial postings outside Zimbabwe, his domestic power base is being systematically dismantled. Mnangagwa is simultaneously rewarding the architects of his continued rule and dispensing it with a competing center of power. It is both patronage and purge. I think I could not have explained it better than this. Now, let me sum up by bringing in the why I am of the view that Chiwenga may be replaced. Now, if I actually pose these questions to viewers, do you think that Chiwenga was consulted in the appointment of these 10 senators? In my view, these are the people, some of them whom Chiwenga has tried to block. Some of them whom has actually, in some instances, tried to elbow them out. Goodwill Masimiremba is not in good books of Chiwenga. Also, this Mnangagwa Shetakure, he attempted to block him to the Politburo, as well as also Central Committee. I remember at one point he ordered his release from the ZANU-PF Central Committee, but Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa fought for him to be returned back to the Central Committee, and Mnangagwa intends to elevate him further to the Politburo. And at the moment, the person that is being targeted, who is perceived as an imminent threat by Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, is retired General Chiwenga. Now, I strongly believe when Anselam Senyatwe was appointed back into the military as the commander, as the lieutenant general of the commander of the Zimbabwe Army. Now, I believe there was consultation between Mnangagwa then and Chiwenga. But in these 10 senatorial appointments done by Mnangagwa, I strongly believe there was no agreement between Mnangagwa and Chiwenga. And Mnangagwa at the moment is no longer making any consultation with retired General Chiwenga. He is doing as he pleases. Eventually is preparing himself to then wake up one morning. Chiwenga is slowly but surely being actually alienated from his allies. He has already appointed senators. It's a well calculated political move to actually pursue his ambitions, to systematically dismantle Chiwenga. So it will be the last, and I think there are many ways of trying to deal with Chiwenga. Firing him would be the most difficult step to be taken by Emerson Mnangagwa, because it will mean the template of 2017 is being replayed, and they understand the consequences of that. And what he may be working on is to totally eliminate him, just like all other retired generals. We know that there was an attempt on his life, but he survived. Definitely, Emerson Mnangagwa hasn't given up on that actual fight. To really fire him, it is the most difficult thing to do at the moment. He understands it comes with a cost. And also the silence of Chiwenga faction, as well as him at this stage, does not mean a weakness. Now, when we say so, people, we are actually preparing you for things that may possibly happen. It doesn't actually makes us aligned with anybody. It's actually analyzing the political situation and actually picking up on what may possibly happen within the next few days, months to come. Very, very crucial in Zimbabwe. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button, so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Okancuba Mhlabane is signing out. Let love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast. Technically,